Tottenham were just destroyed by Bournemouth. It all is like an amazing manager. Thomas Frank made some sus choices. Anyway, let's talk about this game. And if you're new here, welcome to FOOTY with Wally, a channel where I cover Tottenham Hotspur and make Premier League content here and there. So let's go to the video. Okay guys, let's be honest. Just briefly looking at the stats, we see how dominated Spurs were today. Like Semenyo, Evanilson, Tavernier, Scott. Like I can't say 5, 6, 7 players, Bournemouth players, and I can't say anyone who played well for Tottenham today. Like it was madness. No, actually, I will take that back because Vicario played really well. Like he saved Tottenham from losing 3-0, and I'm not even kidding. Now the stats: the XG 1.45 for Bournemouth, 0.17 for Tottenham. Like that is equivalent of a game, I don't know, City, Burnley, or Madrid, Valencia, or Bayern, and someone who is usually relegated in Germany. Like those games where you have a very, very, very strong team and then one that will fight for relegation. But that is not the case. And if anything, Tottenham should have played better, considering players, investment, and blah, blah, blah. So big chances. And by the way, I will talk about the individual players and like more of the tactical choices and stuff. I'm just giving you a brief stats review. 3 big chances for Bournemouth, 0 for Tottenham. And I believe that if Bournemouth had better players, in this case better, I mean technically better, like technique, quality on the ball, apart from Semenyo, who is very good, I believe Bournemouth would have scored 3 goals easily, because like the amount of opportunities they were creating was just insane. And you can also see the tackles, like the difference between Tottenham and Bournemouth, like 17 tackles to 29 tackles. Obviously the team who has the ball for the minority like have less the ball will usually have more tackles because you're trying to get the ball. However, this difference is kind of surprising for me. So some of my notes here, Spurs were dominated, apart from Vicario, who I just said was amazing. Like my man of the match was him, and maybe Romero, who played well. I'd say no one plays well. And I talked about tackles and now duels. Bournemouth midfield won most of their duels. Adams 5 out of 9, Scott 6 out of 8, and Tavernier, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but I just corrected because it was written as 5 out of 5, but it was actually 5 out of 10. However, you can just see how well Bournemouth midfield were playing. They were very intense, very physical, getting the ball, but at the same time having some quality to make the ball get fast to Semenyo, to Evanilson, so they could do what they do well. Like Evanilson is a good striker, like not technically super, but he's good, and Semenyo is very good. As I just said, I think he's amazing. I thought someone would sign him, like someone from the Big Six, but it didn't happen, and I was surprised by that. And also, I want to talk about Iraola, like the manager. I don't know if you know this, but in Spain, he was known as El Matador de Gigantes, which is like giant killer, because he was known as someone who can get a team, a low budget / mid-table team, and beat like Madrid and Barcelona, or at least cause them a lot of problems. And we see him doing this with Bournemouth, not only beating Spurs away, but beating with authority, beating with merit. Like this performance wasn't luck. Bournemouth deserved to win, and for me, it would be fair 2-0 at least. And after this section, I will focus only on Tottenham. But before that, I want to talk about this map, like this chart. I don't know if you say map or chart here, but it's basically an illustration. The green bars represent offensive actions from Tottenham, and the blue bars from Bournemouth. And just have a look at how different it was. Like it was bizarre. Those kind of maps you only see in games where the difference between the two teams is just huge. So now we're going detailed on Tottenham. I believe Thomas Frank choices didn't work. Actually, it's not something I believe. It didn't work, especially the midfield. He should have made changes earlier. Like when the first half ended, I was like, Thomas Frank, you have some trouble because you need to change a lot. The team even be able to compete against Bournemouth today. And when the second half started and I saw no substitutions whatsoever, the team playing roughly the same, I was like, that is kind of sus. And then I believe he saw the same, because after 10 minutes, like around 55 minutes of the game, he bought Bergvall, who in my opinion should have started the game, because the midfield lacked creativity, technique, because Bentancur, Palhinha, Sarr not so as the first two that I said, but Bentancur and Palhinha, they are good in the game where Tottenham won't have the ball for the majority of the time, but it wasn't the case today. Today, Bournemouth said, do you know what? Tottenham, have the ball. I want to see what you can do. And then Tottenham would try to go to the attack, lose the ball because Bournemouth midfield were playing very well, then they would counter-attack or like attack very fast. And I believe for this game, Bergvall, or like it could not necessarily Bergvall, but someone with good technique, quality on the ball, could have helped by dribbling, by progressive passes, could have helped breaking defensive lines, breaking the midfield, breaking the defense. But Tottenham didn't have this player today. And also Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson does not fit this kind of game. He's good, I will give him that. He's good at putting the ball in the back of the net, but not a creating chance. chances. Like, he's not a player, a creative player, someone who in a horrible match when your team can't do anything, he's not a player who will be like, no, give me the ball because I will create chances, I will be the maestro, like give me the responsibility of being the best player on the pitch. I don't think he's this player. And I believe the left wing, like, I'm not saying Odegaard is amazing, but he is a dribbler, Brendan just isn't. And for this game, someone who could get the ball, try the 1v1s and try to create some chances, I think it would have been better than having like a poacher, like I'm saying inside forwards, let's say, as Brendan Johnson is. And then Thomas Frank started to make changes. The team slightly improved, but not as good as they should have, which tells us a lot about how bad Tottenham were in the first half. I would say Tottenham performed in the second half better than in the first half and was still not good, which means that in the first half it was atrocious, like horrible. And I think in general for this game, that's it. I just wanted to talk briefly about Xavi Simons, who, by the way, I've already scouted. I have a scout report and / analysis that I will record. I will make a video about. However, I haven't got the time yet. So if you're interested in watching it, just subscribe so you won't lose the next video, which will be Xavi Simons analysis. But that was it, guys. If you want to tell me anything in the comment section, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with a friend in case I have said anything useful. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.